what the hell? Alright, I'm not about to let that song get stuck in my head. Okay. Nobody's on here right now, but I know y'all coming in. So we're going to do this. I am going to do a detailed eyebrow tutorial. Now for my girls that don't know how to do eyebrows, I promise you, if you get these things, this should be the easiest eyebrow you've ever done in your life. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do before I do my eyebrows, because I kind of already have them filled in a little bit, and on the ends, I'm going to wipe them off because we are definitely going to start from scratch. But, you know, I'm just being honest about my eyebrow journey. I should put some goddamn lip gloss on. Okay. Alright, so we didn't wipe the little bit that was on here off. As you can see, no product. No product. Okay. So the 3 products I'm going to be using tonight is going to be Benefit Cosmetics. So I have 3 of these. I'm going to be using the 24-hour brow setting. This is called Setter. I'm going to be using the Precise Brown Wax. Actually, I'm just going to be using these 2. Sorry. 3 things. The 24-hour brown setter by Benefit Cosmetics, and then the brown wax by Benefit as well. And then I'm going to use my Build a Brow pen from Maybelline. This is what's going to take you to the next level. And if you already know how to do brows, this right here is probably going to be your holy grail, because it's like, I love this, I love this, I love this, I love this. So usually what I do when I do my brows, there are 2 ways you could do this. The first way is you could use, which us makeup artists sometimes do, we use the brow or the duo eyelash glue, and you can put it on your brows and then brush your eyebrows up to tame them to the shape that you want and make sure they stay in place. However, this is if you want to keep them brows on, which I don't recommend keeping makeup product on your eyebrows for more than the day that you get it done. However, there are some people who do stuff like that. I don't condone it, but this is going to keep your brows in place. So if you are looking maybe for a 2-day brow, this will help. Just something that does not move, that stay in place, the duo will help. Again, I don't recommend that you keep makeup on your face for more than 24 hours. You should be taking it off by the end of the night. But with that being said, we're going to move on. So the first thing I'm going to use is the 24-hour brow setter. This, yeah. Now in the beginning, I was using this all wrong. So what I would do is open it up, and I would just use the brush to brush my eyebrows. But the sides of this is flat. So this is where all the product is, right? So you're actually going to wipe the product on the brow first. And then you're going to brush the eyebrows in place. Because that's what the product is there for. And that makes more sense. So that's kind of where I was like going wrong with this. So you just brush the product on the eyebrow, and then you use the bristles to get that in place. Much further than where we started. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the same thing to the next brow. I'm going to use the product that's on the flat side, and then I'm going to use the brush to brush that in place. Period. Okay. Also, I want to be very clear that if you are that person who your eyebrows are not arched or shaved, waxed, if you have eyebrow hair all over the place, you're going to struggle trying to get a perfect brow. If you don't shave them eyebrows or get them eyebrows waxed or threaded or whatever your preference is, because you can't be expecting perfect brows and your brow hair is everywhere. That doesn't make sense to me. And I will hope that you will not be so delulu that you just think that's gonna work. It's not gonna work. So now I'm going to use the precise precisely my brow wax. That's what I'm using. This is in the shade the number 4.5, and where I went over it with the brow setter, I'm just going to do the same thing here. And as you can see, this does have a little color on it, but the both things that I'm using is really to get the brow in place, right? I'm gonna dip it in here so it can be evenly coated on both sides. So you are gonna get some color out of here. And the color that so I have both my brows tamed. As you can see, one of my brows is thicker than the other. You know which one? This one. Which I just don't get. I'll be trying. All right, so now that I have that on, this is the part where I'm gonna go in with my build a brow pencil. Now, this side right here is like the brow setter. And then here we have the pen. And if you can see, I want to do it right here. And you can do like little small strokes on your eyebrows like this, you know? So it's really good. And I usually take my time doing this because it's very tedious, or can be, depending on if you have a steady hand or not. So I just take this and I go underneath my brow line. So I have my line underneath my brow drawn. That's my line underneath my brow. Now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go over top and I'm just outlining what's already there. So So I just outlined what's already there. And this is one brow. And I haven't put any concealer or anything on here yet. And then usually what I'll do now, because I use the Benefit Cosmetic Precise Brown Wax in the shade, it was like a brown shade. I'm probably going to conceal my eyebrows, but I'm not going to do like, I'm not going to fill them in because I did use that brown color. So it usually, it'll blend in. And this gives more of like natural as well, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going to do the same thing with this brow that I did with this one. So I'm just doing outlining my underbrow. So that's the line for this brow. Underneath, and as you can see, I took my time. And now I'm going to go outline the top of this brow, just like I did this brow. So we have two brows. We have two brows. And as you can see, when I went in with the liquid brow pen, what I did was I took my time. I went back over the line and dragged it from where I ended. That way all of it connects. So I started in the front here, and I would lightly tap, start right there, then lightly tap, start right there, lightly drag, start right there, and then connect it all at the end. But at the end, you get two brows. Now, what you can do is, if you decide you want something, some people like it to look like I got my makeup done, right? So this is giving more natural brow. Sorry, y'all, my eye was itching. So this is giving more natural brow, but you can always go in and fill in your brow. So if I'm filling in my brow, I'm going to take this pen and I'm not going to fill the whole thing in. I'm just going to do the end. So like here. And I want to do light strokes. Hair-like strokes. Right? So I'm just hair-like strokes at the end. And I'm going to do the same here. because the objective is not to do too much here. Okay, so I've done both hair like strokes, and because I'm going for something more natural here, I'm going to use a concealer. So you can either use a concealer that is your skin complexion for underneath, and then on top you want to use your foundation shade, or some people just like to conceal underneath their brow, which is fine if you're that person. um Me personally, normally when I'm doing my brows and I know I'm just going to do brows, like I'm not doing any other makeup, I usually won't conceal them. Like I would leave them like this. That's just me, because they're already perfect enough for me to go out about my day. I don't have to worry about, look at the mess. The eyebrows is done, honey. They're done. If you want to be real about it, if you want to get technical, they're done. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to be a good sport, and I'm going to underline them brows, because it does make a difference. It makes a difference when you conceal underneath your brows. It makes a difference when you conceal above your brows. It makes a big difference. So let me go ahead and do that. If you are new here, make sure you go subscribe and like and comment. Let's get these views up, and also support the channel. So I have, let me see. I'm using the concealer here in the shade Mocha. Now this is the Hourglass concealer, but let me put y'all on, because everything that I use on my brows was inexpensive, especially the Build a Brow by Maybelline, y'all. This was by Maybelline. You can get this from Ulta. I think this is like $9 or something like that, if you got the money. So go out and get you a chicken box, some Chipotle, and eat out. You got money to get this brow pencil. Don't play. Okay, so I'm using the shade Mocha. If you want an inexpensive concealer, you want to go to your local beauty supply store, and you can get the LA Pro concealer. It's like $4.99. I don't want to hear no excuses here. We doing our big one. Okay, so now that I've put my concealer on here, this is concealer I'm going to use. Is in the shade Mocha. It is 2 shades lighter than my skin color. I'm going to use this to conceal my brows. If you're new here, make sure you go subscribe, because we ain't playing around. Okay, so I have my brush, and I'm going to conceal wherever the hell I want to. Just like you can. Because okay, God gave us free will. Conceal where you want to. So I'm going to conceal under my brow, and I'm going to take my time. What is it giving? Okay, so I've done the first one, and again, you can use a concealer that is your skin complexion, or you can use one to 2 shades lighter. This specific one that I'm using is 2 shades lighter than my skin complexion. So it does, so concealing your underbrow does make a big difference. And I'm just gonna do the next one. I hope y'all got y'all pens, papers, and brushes out. And I'm taking my time. Take your time, don't rush. I'm just gonna drag that concealer down. I'm gonna take this time to kind of clean up anything that I feel. Okay. And then if you want your brows to look lighter in the front, which mines are already kind of light, but let's say you're just that person, okay? You want lighter brows in the front because you want them to look faded. What you want to do is you want to take a brush. Now I'm going to use eyeshadow brush that I use that is not am I using the right powder? I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush that I used yesterday. Haven't cleaned it yet, but it's my damn brush, so whatever. And I'm going to put this in my one size translucent powder. And what you can do is you can pat the powder into the brow. Okay. And then these are your brows. Do you guys have any questions about any of the steps that I took? Do you have any questions? What are some of your struggles that you face when doing your brows? How can I help you do your brows better? Like, how can I help you do your brows better? I'm gonna make a box. Yo, I don't be knowing how to do nothing. Let me see. It's like when I put, the, I be putting the Q&A box on the screen, and then I try to move it. Oh, that's because I need to press it, apparently. I'll put it here. I will say though, when I first started out doing my makeup, the reason I started doing my makeup is because I felt extremely insecure. I was a tomboy, and I was dating someone at the time who brought up to me like, why you don't ever dress up, why you never wear makeup, like what is going on, why every time we go out you just dress basic. So I felt like I wasn't doing enough, and so because I felt like I wasn't doing enough, I was like, okay, I guess I'll try makeup. So first I started with my lashes, then I started trying to do my eyebrows, and then I moved on to like foundation, concealer. And I actually fell in love with makeup, and so then I started to pursue being a makeup artist. However, my reasons for why I started doing makeup in the first place were solely based off insecurities. um it took me a long time to perfect my eyebrows, and even still now I still have my bad eyebrow days. So it's like you're not always going to have perfect brows. There is no such thing. You can get close enough to it, but you're gonna have your days where your brows are just not perfect, and that is so fucking okay. Okay, because who will say something? Nobody, exactly. However, I found myself in a space where it's like, okay, everybody is on the brows, okay? So we need to get on these brows. And I've always been a brow person. Brows have always been my favorite thing to do, along with makeup, but I specifically love brows. And so one thing I learned with doing your brows is you have to have patience, and you have to find your style, okay? Now, there are some people that I know who brows just don't sit right with me. Very much so. The brows just ain't browing, which I get. No, I don't get it. Fix that shit. However, if that's their cup of tea, that's just their cup of tea. Like, who am I to tell you how your brows should look? However, I'm here to help you get your brows on the right track. So if you have any questions about brows, or are there any other videos you would love to see, let me know, because we can definitely make that happen. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know I went on a little rant in there, a little tangent, but since you guys didn't have any questions for me, I had no other choice. I'm going to delete this question box. Just make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you. Leave a comment. Make sure you share this video. This live will be made public. It will be up for you to go back to and reference whenever you are doing your brows. I'm about to go watch Daredevil with my man, and then we're going to go to bed. Bye.